Welcome to Trout Towns, the show where I take you to some of the best towns across America for trout fishing. Each episode, we'll travel to a new town to fish two specific trout streams, from freestone to limestone to tailwater and everything in between. We'll also highlight some of the great American history as well as architecture illustrated by the towns which we visit. All that and more today on Trout Towns.
On this episode of Trout Towns, we're in Roscoe, New York, your home base for tackling some of the most historically significant rivers and streams in all of American fly fishing history, all in the Southern Catskills. Our first stop on this trip will be to the Beaverkill. Well known for its contributions to American dry fly tying, this large-sized freestone trout stream is teeming with wild browns and wild rainbows. Next up, we'll check out one of the Beaverkill's most productive tributary streams, with naturally reproducing brook, brown, and rainbow trout, all surrounded by public land in Catskills Park. While in town, we'll then explore Roscoe's rich historical past, with highlights including a colonial history of lumbermen and fur traders, to the 19th century as a railroad town, and then on to the modern outdoor recreation economy revolving around fishing and hiking in the Catskills. We'll also highlight some of Roscoe's well-maintained historic architecture. With a small but historically intact main street as well as church, this diminutive hamlet certainly has aesthetic appeal. Please join me today as we fish, explore, and embrace our very next trout town in Roscoe, New York. Roscoe is a small hamlet in Sullivan County, New York, and is in the southwestern part of the town of Rockland, adjacent to New York State Route 17. It is named after New York Senator Roscoe Conklin. Roscoe calls itself Trout Town, USA. Just inside the boundary of Catskills Park, the town is a destination for fly fishing enthusiasts because of its location at the intersection of two rivers popular for trout fishing, specifically the Beaverkill and Willow-Emock Creek. This community is a popular stopping point for people traveling along Route 17 between New York City and Binghamton, New York. Let's briefly take a look at a few highlights from Roscoe's rich historical past. In 1789, Roscoe was called Westfield Flats. It was the home of the Delaware Indians, where wolves and other big game roamed freely. Roscoe has long been known as a popular destination for hunting. In fact, a local Indian once guided the Marquis de Lafayette on a hunting trip into the Beaverkill Valley after the Revolutionary War. Afterwards, Lafayette presented him with a rifle for his hunting experience. At different times, the Catskill Forest have been a refuge for deer, elk, moose, wolves, bear, panthers, and other fur-bearing animals. Through the early colonial years, the Southern Catskills were considered uncharted territory, as they were difficult to navigate. Only Indian trails could be found through the dense forests. Roscoe, like most of the Catskills, was part of the Hardenberg Patent in the early 18th century, which in turn was purchased by the last lord of the manor of Livingston Manor, Robert Livingston. The first settlers were brothers who bought the area around Roscoe from Livingston's son, Jonathan Livingston. Many of these early settlers were either fur traders or lumbermen. In addition to fur trading, sawmills and tanneries were significant industries in these early years as well. As with most towns engaged in resource extraction, the arrival of the O&W Railroad in the late 19th century transformed Roscoe, bringing tourists and facilitating the transportation of goods. In the early 1800s, fly fishing began to come of age in the lower Catskills. Both writers and fishermen, including the great Theodore Gordon, documented their experiences fishing the Beaverkill River, particularly the Junction Pool where the Beaverkill and Willow-Emock Creek meet. The town is also famous for its many fly tyers who preserved the techniques known as the Catskill-style dry fly. This famous tradition of fly tying dates from the time of Gordon to families like the Darbys, the Deets, and the Wolfs, and individuals like Rube Cross, Pop Robbins, Art Flick, and Roy Steenrod, just to name a few. In the early 20th century, on November 19, 1916, a devastating fire destroyed 23 buildings in town, mostly along Stewart Avenue. Over 100 firefighters came from Livingston Manor and Liberty to help control the flames, but after firefighters lost water pressure, they were unable to do very much to fight the fire. Fortunately, however, the historic Presbyterian Church was spared. In addition to fly fishing, notable attractions in and around town include the Roscoe Diner, which is a popular spot for both students heading to and from colleges in New York State and for fly fishermen, as well as locals. Also, you can check out the Roscoe O&W Railroad Museum, which preserves the history of the O&W Railroad and its impact on the area. In addition, Roscoe is still a popular destination for outdoor recreation, including fishing, hunting, hiking, and winter sports. Also, be sure to check out Stewart Avenue, which serves as Roscoe's main street and was named after the Stewart brothers, who settled in the area in the early 1800s. Today, Stewart Avenue is the charming center of the hamlet with restaurants, shopping, and of course, fly shops. In 2010, Roscoe was awarded the Main Street Grant, which provides funds to the community for improvement of the local buildings and upgrades to Stewart Avenue. Now, with that brief history provided, let's go give the Beaverkill River the old college try. So we just got out to the historically significant Beaverkill. I think kill means river, so we're going to try to refer to it as just the Beaverkill, not the Beaverkill River. Anyways, the Beaverkill River is one of the most historically significant trout streams in the entire United States, especially in the Northeast. So the Beaverkill was very important for the establishment of American fly fishing, specifically American dry fly fishing and fly tying, going back to like the 1800s. Anyways, today the Beaverkill has a pretty robust population of wild brown trout. It's also supplemented by stocking of brown trout. There could also be some stocked rainbow trout, some wild rainbow trout. We won't be able to fish any of the upper sections above Roscoe. I think like 19 or 20 miles of the stream is all private property, private clubs, etc. Aside from a campground, which we may or may not go to, which is publicly owned. Anyways, we're about 10 miles or so downstream on old Route 17 from Roscoe, and the plan is we're going to be working our way upstream for the next couple of hours. It is very cloudy, a little bit windy, might even rain a little bit. It's in the low 60s for the high today, so not very warm for late spring, early summer. Anyways, we're going to start out nymphing. We got, you know, pheasant tails, hare's ear, zug bugs, woolly buggers, bunch of different stuff we're going to try and just kind of see what happens. We may dry fly fish later in the day if we see some hatch activity going on. Anyways, really excited to get out here on the Beaverkill. For me at least, it's been challenging over the years, but hopefully today we can put some fish on the board. So yeah, let's get out here, see what happens. Just got a fish. Just got a fish. Seems like a small wild brown. We'll take it. We will take it. Yeah, that's a wild brown. That's a wild brown. Oh, got him. All right, so small wild brown, but we will certainly take it. First fish on the board. That's so wonderful. Let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. All right, so relatively small wild brown, but on such big water, really great to see. So let's get him right out of here. Beautiful colors, as always, on these little fish. Hold on, bud, hold on. Beautiful fish, great colors. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. Just got a fish. Not sure what it is. Doesn't feel too big, but we'll take what we can get. Hopefully we can get him to the net and not lose him like a loser, you know? Got him. All right, so just got a little wild brown. I don't know if they plant fingerlings in here or if they stock full-sized wild browns, but if they don't stock fingerlings, as always, it's so great to see the different age classes. And again, a river this big in not New England, in the Northeast, is so wonderful to see wild browns. Let's get you out of here. Hold on, hold on, hold on. Beautiful little wild brown, nice colors. Let's get them right out of here. Just got a fish. Feels like a little teeny tiner. Oh, a lot of teeny tiners in here right now. That's okay. We like teeny tiners if we can land them. Oh, and that looks like a wild rainbow. That's great. We love seeing the different types of trout species. So again, unless they stock fingerling rainbows, this will be a wild rainbow. So let's get the hook at them, take a look at them. Let's quick take a look at them. I'm in pretty high water, nymphing. You can see the par marks, beautiful little wild fish. Let's get them right out of here. Get out of here, bud. Just got a fish. Doesn't feel bad. Not a big guy, but not small. Not small. Medium-ish, we say in our house. Yeah, it's not bad.
Little brown. The current is quite strong. Got him. All right, yeah, another little wild brown. We'll take it. We'll certainly take it. Nice little, presumably wild brown. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. Got him. Got him. Doesn't feel bad. Not a big guy. Doesn't feel bad. Pretty good. Pretty good. Got him. All right. Best brown of the day so far. Not quite the monster browns that I've seen pictures of on the Beaverkill, but we will certainly take it. Chunky, probably 9-inch. Wow, brown. That's great. Let's get the hook at him and take a look at him. Pretty solid fish. Probably about 9 or so inches. Let's get him right out of here. Nice fish, nice fish. Wild brown, wild brown. Let's get him out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. Oh, got him. Got him. Feels pretty good. Not huge, but feels pretty good. Oh, he's fighting. A lot of vigor with this one, but we like that. Oh, that's a rainbow. That's a decent sized rainbow. Not bad. Oh no, that's a brown. That's a brown. All right, that's a brown. Could be a stalker. That might be the first stalker we got. Who knows? Got some nice red in the adipose fin, so I could be wrong. Nicest fish so far today, probably about 11 inches. Let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. All right, finally starting to get into some real fish. This looks like to be a 10, 11, 12 inch fish. Might be a stalker, I don't know. It's got some nice red in the adipose, not a ton of other red, but nice fish irregardless. Nice reds, red in the adipose. We're gonna call that a wild guy. Get out of here, bud, get out of here. All right, for the first time today, I am seeing at least one single fish rise kind of right in front of the side of this rock over here, like a nice medium-sized brown. It's the smack dab in the middle of the day. There's almost no bug activity. It's literally like 12 noon. No bug activity that I can see. It's a little cloudy, so we tied on a BWO. He or she probably won't like this. It's in an incredibly difficult place for me to put a fly because there's riffles right here, and then I got to hit some soft water right in front of this thing. This is probably not going to work very well. Nope, didn't like that drift. Didn't like that drift. Got him. Not a big one. This is not the one that I saw rising before, but we will certainly take it. Hit the BWO. Let's try to get him over here. Not bad, not bad. We'll take it. All right, kind of a smaller brown. The one I saw rising earlier was significantly larger, but we will take it. All right, so not a bad little brown. Not a bad little brown. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. Just got another fish here. Hold on, bud. Little guy. Hit the BWO. Hit the BWO. Wet my hands. Wet my hands. Beautiful little wild brown. Let's get him right out of here. Oh. Just got a fish. All right, just got another little wild brown. Let's get the hook out of him, take a quick look at him, and get him out of here. Nice little wild brown. Let's get him right out of here. Got him. Got him. Got him. Another little guy. Oh, there he is. Not bad. That's not bad. Let's get him in the net. All right, another cookie cutter. Probably 6-7. Yeah, probably 6-7 inch rainbow trouts. Nice little rainbow. Great par marks. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. Just got another fish. Little guy. Little teeny tiner. We'll take it. We'll take it. I think it's a little wild brown. Or is that a little rainbow? Yeah, that's a little rainbow. That's okay. We love seeing the different age classes, guys. That's great. Wetting my hands. Wetting my hands. Hold on, bud. Nice little fish. Let's get him right out of here. Nice par markings on him, too. Let's get him out of here. All right, so we made another move. We are just above the junction pool when the Willow Emoc Creek dumps into the Beaverkill. So we're in and around Roscoe. We're about to start working up this small little section. It's starting to get dark. It's a beautiful hour of the evening. Anyways, we're just gonna nymph for a little bit, not seeing any fish rise. If we can pick off just a couple more fish, then we're gonna call it a day. Just got a fish, another little guy. This will be a little rainbow, little wild rainbow. That's great. Let's get the hook out of him here quick. A beautiful little wild rainbow. We got him out of here. That's okay. Just got a fish. Not a bad little wild rainbow. We will certainly take it. A lot of little guys, so that's okay. Take a look at him quick. Hold on. Hold on, bud. Hold on. Pretty good fish right here. Probably 5 or 6 inches. Really nice. Let's get him out of here. Let's get him out of here. All right, so with light slowly fading and the beautiful Catskills Mountains in the background, let's quick wrap up for today. So we've been on the Beaverkill in Southern New York. We managed to catch, I want to say 15 or 20, not sure how many of them actually made the final cut, but probably about 15 or 20 fish, mostly small to medium-sized browns and rainbows. I assume the browns and rainbows were a mixture of true wild fish, stream bred, and also maybe some planted fish, which, you know, are stockers technically, but then they grow up, they have great colors, etc. Anyways, we didn't catch any of the 18, 20-inch famed Beaverkill wild browns. I did have a couple, you know, probably 14, 16-inch that I just did not land, and that does happen, but can't say enough good things about the Beaverkill. For being in Southern New York, the fact that water this big, and it's much bigger downstream where the Willow Emoc dumps in, the fact that water this big has wild fish swimming through it is quite incredible. Really excellent fishery. Nothing but good things to say about the Beaverkill and the Catskills more broadly. But anyways, with that said, let's head back to Roscoe.
Roscoe's cultural heritage is deeply connected to its natural surroundings and outdoor recreation traditions. This community, while small, maintains its historic character through well-preserved 19th century architecture and continues to attract visitors interested in both its cultural offerings and natural amenities. The hamlet has served as a gateway to the Catskill Park and has played a role in the region's artistic and environmental conservation movements. Roscoe boasts a variety of historic architectural styles, with notable examples including Dundas Castle and the Roscoe O&W Railroad Museum. Dundas Castle is a unique structure built in the Elizabethan and Gothic revival styles, and it is known for its 36 rooms made of local sandstone construction. The Roscoe O&W Railroad Museum preserves the history of the New York, Ontario, and Western Railway, which played a significant role in the town's development. The railway was vital to Roscoe's growth and development, running from approximately 1868 to 1957. Another notable structure includes the Roscoe Presbyterian Church. This historic church, built around 1884, was spared from a 1916 fire and was added to the National Register of Historic Places list in 2001. The church is a simple rectangular wood frame building, 3 bays wide and 3 bays deep, with a large rear cross-gabled wing. It features a narrow, engaged center entrance tower surmounted by a spire. Lastly, we have Roscoe's Main Street, also known as Stewart Avenue. This is the charming center of the hamlet and offers a glimpse into its history through architecture. This is the primary street in Roscoe, named after early settlers Jehiel and Luther Stewart, and is lined with historical, commercial fronts. Now, if you'll indulge me for just a few moments, we'll go on an architectural walking tour of Roscoe, New York. And then, I promise, we'll get back to catching some nice trout. Alright, so obviously Roscoe is well known for the Beaverkill River. It also has the Willow Emaw Creek, probably pronouncing that incorrectly, and the nearby East Branch, Delaware. But in addition to that, there are some more small to medium-sized wild brown and native brook trout streams, which are surrounded by New York's version of state forests, which I believe they call wild areas. Anyways, we're in a New York wild area, all publicly accessible. We have this beautiful small to medium-sized stream, and from what I've read, it should have some native brook trout and wild brown trout. So just about 15 or so odd minutes from downtown historic Roscoe, we're on this beautiful stream surrounded by public lands. Never fished this stream before. Really excited to get out here. I think we're gonna get, 7-8 inch brook trout, 9 or 10 inch brown trout. Nothing crazy, but it's a nice departure from some of the much more girthy streams and rivers in this area. Anyways, let's get started. We're gonna throw dries, we might nymph, but we're gonna try to primarily dry fly fish, and let's just see what happens. Just got my first fish. Oh, that looks like a wild rainbow. Wow. Did not think there were wild rainbows in here. That's great. Holy cow. All right, so we just got a probably 6-inch, clearly wild, great par markings on this wild rainbow trout. That really warms our heart. I thought it would only be wild browns and native brooks, but looks like we got wild rainbows as well. That's so wonderful. All right, let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. All right, so we got a beautiful wild rainbow trout. Was not expecting this. Beautiful par markings, etc. Great fish. Let's get him out of here. See you later, bud. See you later.
Got him. Got him. Little guy. Little guy. Kind of a teeny tiner. Kind of a teeny tiner. What do we got? That is a wild rainbow again? Wet my hands. Not sure if it's a brown or a rainbow. That'll be a rainbow. Kind of like a fingerling sized rainbow. Beautiful par markings. Definitely not stocked. That's for sure. Let's get him right out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. Got him. Got him. Feels pretty good. Whatever this is, it feels pretty good. Not huge, but pretty good. Ooh, ooh. Oh, jeez. Man. I haven't seen this fish yet, but he's really putting up a fight. I don't think it's that big. Ooh, that's a brook trout. Oh my gosh, that's a brookie. That's a brookie. Sick brookie. Oh my gosh. Hell yeah, dude. That's one of the biggest native brook trout I've ever caught. Holy cannoli. That's so great. Oh, let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. So this is easily one of the nicest native brook trout I've ever caught. Of course, stock brook trout can be bigger. This is probably a solid 12, 13 inch fish. Beautiful brook trout. Wow, gorgeous, gorgeous brook trout. Let's get him right out of here. Got a fish on here, not sure what it is yet. Not a big fish. Not a teeny tiner either though. Oh, I don't know if it's a brook, if it's a rainbow, maybe it's a brown town. Wow. Wow, shouldn't have spoke too soon. We got a freaking gorgeous wild brown here. Exquisite, some of the nicest reds I've seen in quite some time. Not gonna net him, probably about a 4-incher. Did get a trout slam, 3 different kinds of trout species, all on one stream. That's great for us. So yeah, beautiful colors on this fish. We're gonna get him right out of here. We're gonna get him right out of here. Just got a fish. Seems pretty decent. Nice medium-sized fish, whatever it is. Might be a brown. Might be a brown. Got him. All right, yeah, so that's actually a pretty nice, probably 8 or 9 inch wild brown. That's wonderful. So let's get the hook out of him and we'll take a look at him. All right, so for a small stream in the Catskills, not a bad little wild brown. I'm sure they get bigger in here, but this isn't bad. Nice 8, 9 inch, really healthy looking wild brown. Let's get him right out of here. Hold on, bud. See you later, bud. See you later. Oh, got him. Just got a little wild brown. Not a big one, kind of a teeny tiner. That's okay. I mean, we like seeing all the different age classes. It shows we got a healthy watershed here, and really that's kind of what it's all about, right? So, wild brown, little wild brown. Get out of here, bud. Got him. Not a bad fish for this stream. Not bad. Oh, got him. All right, yeah, that's a solid 9-inch or so. Wild brown, that's great. Exquisite colors on this fish. Let's get the hook at him and take a look at him. All right, so we got an absolute stunner of a wild brown. Beautiful fish. That's a great fish. Let's get him right out of here. This feels like a pretty decent fish. I think it's a wild brown. Oh, that's a wild brown. That's a wild brown. That's a nice one too. Oh, got him. All right, so a little bit smaller than the last two, but quite good. Probably about 8 or 9 inches. So let's get the hook out of him. Take a look at him. It's so buggy, guys, but I do it for you. All right, so we got another quality wild brown, and this is a tributary of the Beaverkill River, so it's really nice to see these excellent spawning areas. Anyways, beautiful wild brown, real nice. Let's get him out of here. Got him. Got him. Kind of a medium-sized fish. Not sure what kind yet. Oh, I think that's a brook. That's a brook. Only our second brook trout. Really great to see. Not a bad-sized fish either. I'm not going to net him. Not going to net this one, folks. Probably about 4 or 5 inch native brook trout. We touched him. Does count. Hold on, hold on. Gorgeous. Native brook trout. We're gonna get him right out of here. Definitely need my pliers. Let's get him right out of here. Just got a fish. Not sure what it is yet. I think it's a brown. Let's see. Yeah, it's a brown. Mostly wild browns in here, as expected. Let's quick take a look at him. Nice 5-6 inch wild brown. Let's get this hook right at him here. Real ethically. Hold on, bud. Hold on. Got a lot of vigor, and we appreciate that. But we're just trying to get you out of here, bud. Hold on. Nice fish. Get out of here. Get the heck out of here, bud. Just got a beautiful little brook trout, probably the third of the day, I think, overall. They are loving the parachute Adams that I've been using the entire morning. Hold on, bud, hold on. Love seeing these brook trouts. Such exquisite colors, truly. Let's get them right out of here. See you later, bud. Nice little fish. Got him. Nice fish. Nice fish. Nice fish. I think that's a nice wild rainbow. Oh, hold on, bud, hold on. Sick. Sick, dude. Oh, big, fat, healthy, wild rainbow. Oh, that really warms our heart. All right, so let's get the hook at him, take a look at him. All right, so we got an exquisitely colored wild rainbow. Beautiful pink in the cheeks. Certainly not a stocked fish. This is really a wonderful fish. Let's get him right out of here. Probably about 11, 12 inches. Let's get him out of here. See you later, bud. See you later. I just got to some man-made foundations. As you can see, there's kind of walls of rock here. Very interesting. Very interesting stuff. Not sure what it was. Presumably a house for logging. No idea. Let's keep rolling. Got him. Pretty good fish. Can't tell what kind yet. Oh, that's another wild rainbow. Another wild rainbow. Pretty good size. Not as big as the last one, but pretty good. Yeah, solid. Probably 8-inch wild rainbow. That's great. That's great. That's great. Really just can't stress how incredible it is that this little stream in the Catskills has naturally reproducing brook, brown, and of course, wild rainbow trout. Really neat stuff. We're gonna get this guy right out of here. One of the better fish today. One of the better fish today. See you later, bud. See you later. Woo. Got him. That's a brown. That's a brown town. That's a brown town. Nice medium-sized brown. Not gonna net him, guys. Not gonna net him. Hands are wet. Hands are wet. Sopping wet hands. Oh. Hold on, hold on. All right. Oh, medium-sized wild brown, 5-6 inches. Get out of here, bud. Get out of here. All right, so let's quick wrap up for the day. So we are surrounded by the beautiful Catskills Mountains. We are in a New York wild area, essentially a state forest. Anyways, we've been fishing this relatively small tributary to the Beaverkill, and we've been really fortunate today. I think total we probably caught 20 plus fish. Didn't get them all on video, some of the dinks, some of the smaller ones. Anyways, we managed to catch mostly wild browns, also some native brook trout, and some wild rainbows. And I'm pretty sure we got at least one each, wild brown, wild rainbow, and native brook trout over 10 inches. Really nice fish, wonderful stream, high quality. Can't say enough good things about the Catskills. But with that said, I think that's all we got from this stream.
From all of us here at Trout Towns, and by all of us, I sadly just mean myself, we'd like to thank you for watching today's episode. If you have any other Trout Towns you'd like me to visit, please drop me a comment in the comment section of this video. Also, if you enjoyed this video and would like to see me visit other Trout Towns across this great country, please consider subscribing to the Traveling Trout Co channel to give my life meaning. Also, go ahead and tap that like button. Just give it a tap. Trout Towns, brought to you by Traveling Trout Co, a company that's not really a company in any meaningful or significant way. Stay trouty, folks.